In the busy hallways of St. Mary's Hospital, Nurse Emily Carter was known for her gentle touch and caring heart. She worked hard every day, helping her patients feel better. But everything changed when she met Alex. Alex was a new patient, hurt badly in an accident. He was in pain, but his green eyes showed a quiet strength. From the moment Emily met him, she felt something special, a connection she couldn't explain. As days went by, Emily found herself spending more time with Alex. They talked a lot, starting with his recovery and then about their dreams, fears, and past experiences. They began to feel close to each other, much more than just a nurse and her patient. Emily knew she was getting too close, but with every smile and every talk, it became harder to ignore her feelings. In the middle of the hospital's busy life, a love story was starting, making Emily wonder how to balance her job with what was growing in her heart. Months passed, and Alex's health steadily improved. He worked hard in physical therapy, determined to regain his strength. Emily was there for him every step of the way, cheering him on and providing support. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Finally, the day came when Alex was well enough to leave the hospital. It was a bittersweet moment for Emily. She was overjoyed to see him healthy, but worried about what would happen next. Alex, however, had no doubts. He took Emily's hand and promised her that this was just the beginning of their journey together. Outside the hospital, their relationship blossomed. They spent countless hours talking, laughing, and dreaming about the future. Their love deepened, and it became clear to both of them that they were meant to be together. One sunny afternoon, in a small park, Alex took Emily by the hand and led her to a secluded spot. The air smelled sweet with flowers, their bright colors making the scene beautiful. With a nervous smile, Alex got down on one knee, his heart pounding in his chest as he looked into Emily's eyes, filled with anticipation and love. And in that moment, as he poured his heart out and asked her to spend forever by his side, time seemed to stand still, the world fading away as they were enveloped in their own little bubble of happiness. And when Emily, her eyes sparkling with tears of joy, whispered a heartfelt yes, it felt as if the whole world rejoiced with them, celebrating the beginning of a new chapter in their love story. Emily and Alex were swept up in getting ready for their wedding. They spent days flipping through bridal magazines and checking out venues, feeling excited about every little detail. They wanted everything to be just right, from the colors they picked to the food they served. Late nights were spent writing their vows, each word showing how much they loved each other. As they planned, they felt their bond growing even stronger. They didn't just want their wedding to be a ceremony. They wanted it to be a big celebration of their love and the journey they'd been on together. They hoped everyone who came would feel the magic of their special day. Their wedding day wasn't just about saying I do. It was a celebration of the incredible journey they had embarked on together, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. They wanted their guests to feel the love and warmth that had brought them to this moment, to witness the magic of their union, and to share in the joy of their love story. And as they stood hand in hand, surrounded by their loved ones, they knew that their wedding day was just the beginning of a lifetime of happiness together. Finally, the big day arrived. The sun was shining, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky as Emily walked down the walkway, her heart pounding with excitement. As she reached the holy place, she locked eyes with Alex, and all her worries melted away. In that moment, surrounded by their loved ones, they exchanged vows and rings, promising to love and cherish each other for the rest of their lives. The reception was filled with laughter and joy as friends and family toasted the newlyweds. Emily and Alex danced together under the stars, lost in each other's arms. It was a night they would never forget, the perfect ending to their love story that had begun in the most unexpected of places. And as they looked forward to their future together, they knew that their love would only continue to grow stronger with each passing day. As time went by, Emily and Alex built a life together that was rich with love, laughter, and adventure. Emily and Alex moved into a cute, cozy home in the countryside, surrounded by rolling hills. The air always smelled sweet with wildflowers, and birds sang all day long. It was the perfect place for them, a quiet escape from the busy world where they could grow their love together. Their shared love for travel became the cornerstone of their adventures together. Emily and Alex embarked on adventures to far-off lands, exploring the wonders of our world. They wandered through the historic streets of Rome, marveling at ancient ruins and soaking in the rich history of the city. From there, they journeyed to the serene waters of the Maldives, where crystal-clear lagoons and pristine beaches beckoned them to unwind and relax. Their travels took them to iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower in Paris, where they stood hand in hand, gazing at the city lights as the sun set behind the majestic structure. In Africa, they ventured into the heart of the savannah, where they danced beneath a canopy of stars, surrounded by the sounds of the wilderness. One of their most memorable adventures was on a remote Greek island, where they discovered the simple joys of life by savoring freshly caught seafood while watching the sun dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. With each destination they explored, Emily and Alex discovered new cultures, traditions, and landscapes that enriched their lives in ways they never imagined. Every experience became a cherished memory, a thread woven into the tapestry of their shared adventures, binding them together in a bond that grew stronger with each passing day. At home, they cultivated a life filled with passion and purpose. Emily continued her work as a nurse, her compassionate heart touching the lives of countless patients in their times of need. Her tender care and unwavering dedication earned her the admiration of her colleagues and the gratitude of those she served. Meanwhile, Alex pursued his passion for photography, capturing the beauty of the world through his lens. His photographs adorned the walls of their home, each image a testament to the wonder and awe of the world they had explored together. Together, they faced life's trials and tribulations with courage and resilience. They weathered storms that threatened to tear them apart and emerged stronger, their love forged in the fires of adversity. They celebrated their triumphs with exuberance, knowing that every milestone was a testament to the strength of their bond. And in moments of sorrow, they found solace in each other's arms, finding comfort in the knowledge that they were never alone. As the years turned into decades, Emily and Alex grew old together, their love standing the test of time. They watched as the world changed around them, yet their love remained steadfast and true. And as they looked back on a lifetime filled with shared adventures and cherished memories, they knew that theirs was a love story for the ages, a journey that had begun in the most unexpected of places and had blossomed into a love that would last for eternity. With time going, Emily felt like she was lost in a maze of feelings, unsure about how she felt about her relationship with Alex. The trust she used to have in their relationship now felt shaky. It all began with small, seemingly insignificant details that Emily couldn't shake from her mind. The missed calls that seemed to pile up on Alex's phone, the way he quickly silenced notifications whenever she entered the room, and the fleeting glances exchanged between them in the dead of night, laden with unspoken tension. Initially, Emily brushed aside her concerns, attributing Alex's late nights and secretive behavior to the demands of his job or the pressures of everyday life. She reasoned that perhaps he was under a lot of stress and didn't want to burden her with his worries. After all, they had always been open and honest with each other, or so she thought. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Emily couldn't ignore the gnawing feeling of unease that settled in the pit of her stomach. The cracks in their once unshakable foundation began to widen, revealing the unsettling truth that lay hidden beneath the surface. She noticed how Alex would avoid her gaze whenever she broached the subject of his late nights, deflecting her questions with vague explanations and half-truths. There were moments when she caught him exchanging cryptic text messages with an unknown sender, his expression guarded and distant. And then there were the unexpected absences, the times when he would vanish without explanation, leaving Emily to wonder where he had gone and why he hadn't bothered to tell her. Each unanswered question only served to deepen the chasm of uncertainty that threatened to engulf their relationship. Despite her mounting suspicions, Emily kept her concerns to herself, afraid of what she might uncover if she dared to peel back the layers of deception that shrouded their once blissful union. She held on tightly to the bits of their love, hoping she was just imagining things and that everything would return to normal. Emily tried to convince herself that she was overreacting and that their relationship would go back to the way it used to be. She wanted to believe that the closeness they once shared could be restored, and that all the doubts and worries would fade away. But deep down, beneath the facade of calm composure she presented to the world, Emily couldn't shake the sinking feeling that their relationship was teetering on the brink of collapse. And as the weight of uncertainty bore down upon her with suffocating force, she found herself grappling with a question she never thought she would have to ask. Was their love strong enough to withstand the storm, or was it destined to crumble beneath the weight of secrets left unspoken? Late one evening, Emily sat alone in the quiet of their home, feeling the heavy weight of her doubts. She allowed herself to consider the possibility that Alex was living a double life, one that existed outside their shared reality and threatened to unravel the fragile fabric of their love. The realization hit her like a thunderbolt, sending shockwaves of disbelief coursing through her veins. How could the man she loved, the man she had pledged her heart to, betray her in such a callous manner? The thought alone was enough to send her spiraling into a vortex of despair, her mind awash with a whirlwind of unanswered questions and unspoken fears. Amid the turmoil of her emotions, Emily stayed resolutely silent, unwilling to confront the possibility of Alex's infidelity. She kept her suspicions hidden, locking them away deep in her heart, where they festered like an open wound, a constant reminder of the fragility of trust and the corrosive nature of doubt. Days turned into nights, and nights turned into weeks, yet the distance between Emily and Alex only seemed to grow wider with each passing day. Their once easy camaraderie was replaced by an awkward tension, a palpable sense of unease that hung heavy in the air like a shroud. And yet, despite the growing rift between them, Emily clung desperately to the vestiges of their once perfect love, unwilling to let go of the memories they had shared or the dreams they had nurtured together. She yearned for the days when their love had felt like an unbreakable bond, a beacon of light in the darkest of nights, and she prayed fervently for a miracle that would bring them back together once more. But as the days stretched into weeks and the silence between them grew deafening, Emily found herself grappling with a decision she never thought she would have to make. Should she confront Alex and risk the possibility of losing him forever? Or should she continue to suffer in silence, pretending that everything was fine when it clearly wasn't? Caught between love and doubt, Emily struggled to find her footing in a relationship that seemed to be slipping away from her. And as she navigated the murky waters of suspicion and uncertainty, she couldn't help but wonder if their love was strong enough to weather the storm or if it was destined to crumble beneath the weight of secrets left unspoken. The uncertainty gnawed at her, a constant reminder of the fragility of their bond and the tenuousness of trust. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast long shadows across their home, Emily's worst fears were confirmed. She had decided to visit Alex at his office, hoping to surprise him and perhaps rekindle some of the intimacy that had waned. But as she approached, she saw through the window an image that shattered her heart, a moment of unmistakable betrayal. Alex was there, enveloped in the arms of another, their closeness a stark contrast to the growing distance between him and Emily. The sight hit her like a physical blow. Her breath caught in her throat, and tears welled up in her eyes. The reality of Alex's infidelity, once just a suspicion, was now clear. In that moment, their love unraveled, each memory, promise, and shared dream falling apart. Emily turned away, her world collapsing as she walked back to her car. The weight of her discovery pressed down on her like a heavy burden. The pain was overwhelming, but amidst the heartbreak, a sense of clarity emerged. She knew she couldn't live in doubt and deception anymore. It was time to face the truth and decide the future of their love, which now lay in ruins. As she drove away, Emily's mind raced with thoughts. She remembered all the good times, the laughter, and the intimate moments they had shared. She thought of the promises they had made and the dreams they had built together. Each memory was now tainted by Alex's betrayal. The path ahead was uncertain, and the journey would be painful. The drive felt endless, with each passing mile filled with a mix of sorrow and anger. Emily knew she had to confront Alex, to lay bare her heart and the wounds he had inflicted. She imagined the conversation, the questions she would ask, and the explanations he might offer. She wondered if their love could survive this, if they could rebuild their relationship on honesty, or if she would need to walk away and find her own path to healing. Emily also thought about her own strength. She had always seen herself as strong and capable of facing any challenge. This situation was no different, even though it felt like the hardest thing she had ever faced. She knew that whatever the outcome, she would emerge stronger. She would not let this betrayal define her or her future. As she neared home, Emily felt a mix of determination and apprehension. The uncertainty gnawed at her, reminding her of the fragility of their bond and the tenuousness of trust. But she also felt a glimmer of hope, a hope that, no matter what happened with Alex, she would find a way to heal and move forward. With a deep breath, Emily parked her car and headed inside, ready to face the storm that awaited her. The future was unclear, but one thing was certain: she would no longer remain silent, and she would no longer let doubt rule her life. It was time to seek the truth and reclaim her strength and sense of self. As Emily grappled with the aftermath of discovering Alex's infidelity, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to his character than she had ever realized. The shock of his betrayal had cracked open a door to a hidden past, and she found herself delving deeper into his background. What she uncovered was unsettling. Alex had a history of alcohol abuse, something he had never disclosed to her. She learned that he had been divorced not once, but twice before, leaving a trail of broken relationships in his wake. As she dug further, she stumbled upon darker revelations, stories of scams and deceit, allegations of manipulating and defrauding people for personal gain. The more Emily learned, the more she realized how little she truly knew about the man she had loved and trusted. The image of Alex that she had held in her mind, a loving partner, a devoted companion, was now tainted by the shadows of his past. The weight of these discoveries pressed down on Emily, adding another layer of complexity to the already tumultuous situation. She questioned everything she thought she knew about their relationship, wondering how much of it had been built on lies and deception. However, throughout the confusion and despair, a flicker of clarity emerged. Emily realized that she couldn't ignore these revelations, nor could she continue to turn a blind eye to the truth. She had to confront Alex, not just about his infidelity, but about the secrets he had kept hidden for so long. With a heavy heart and a resolve born of necessity, Emily prepared herself for the difficult conversation that lay ahead. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she also knew that she couldn't continue to live in ignorance. It was time to face the truth, no matter how painful it might be. As Emily uncovered more about Alex's past, she learned that the incident he claimed was an accident was actually the result of a fight with someone he had scammed. This revelation weighed heavily on her. But among the shock and disappointment, there was a glimmer of something else, a strange mix of emotions that Emily couldn't quite place. There was sadness, of course, at the betrayal and deceit that had tainted their relationship. But there was also a hint of relief, like a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. It was as if Emily had been living in a fog of confusion and uncertainty, and now that she knew the truth, she could finally see clearly. She realized that she deserved better than the lies and deception that had characterized her relationship with Alex. She deserved honesty, trust, and respect. With newfound clarity and determination, Emily made the difficult decision to end things with Alex once and for all. It wasn't easy. Letting go of someone she had loved and trusted for so long never is, but she knew it was the right thing to do. Leaving behind her job, which had become a constant reminder of the pain and betrayal, Emily sought solace in the peaceful countryside where her grandfather lived. Surrounded by nature's tranquility and her grandfather's wisdom, she found healing and renewal. In the quiet solitude of her grandfather's home, Emily began to rebuild her life from the ground up. She spent her days immersed in the beauty of the natural world, finding joy in the simple pleasures of life, a walk in the woods, the sound of birdsong at dawn, the feel of the sun on her face. With each passing day, the weight of her past burdens grew lighter, replaced by a sense of peace and contentment. She discovered a newfound sense of freedom in letting go of the toxic relationships and stressful career that had held her back for so long. But it wasn't just about letting go of the past, it was also about embracing the future. With her grandfather's guidance, Emily began to explore new passions and interests, rediscovering parts of herself that she had long forgotten. Together, they planted a garden, tended to the land, and savored the simple joys of living in harmony with nature. And as Emily watched the seeds they planted grow and flourish, she realized that she was doing the same. Though the road ahead was uncertain, Emily knew she was on the right path. By letting go of the toxic relationships and stressful career that had held her back, she was finally free to embrace a life filled with authenticity and fulfillment. And with her grandfather by her side, she knew she would always have the love and support she needed to thrive. As Emily settled into her new life in the countryside, she found herself drawn to the quiet rhythms of nature and the solace of her grandfather's home. With each passing day, she felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination to carve out a life that was truly her own. One of the first things Emily did was to immerse herself in the world of books. She had always been an avid reader, but now she found herself devouring everything from classic literature to self-help guides and books on gardening. Each page opened up new horizons, sparking her curiosity and igniting her passion for learning. Inspired by her newfound knowledge and fueled by her love for plants and gardening, Emily decided to take a leap of faith and pursue her dreams. With her grandfather's encouragement, she transformed a small corner of their property into a quaint little store, selling an assortment of plants, flowers, and gardening supplies. It wasn't easy at first. Starting a business from scratch never is, but Emily poured her heart and soul into her new venture. She spent countless hours researching the best plant varieties, attending workshops and seminars on gardening, and honing her skills as a small business owner. Slowly but surely, Emily's store began to thrive. Word of mouth spread, and soon, people from all over the area were flocking to her store to buy plants and seek her advice on gardening. For Emily, there was no greater joy than sharing her passion with others and helping them discover the beauty and wonder of nature. But perhaps the most rewarding part of Emily's journey was the sense of fulfillment and purpose she found along the way. Gone were the days of doubt and uncertainty, replaced by a deep-seated confidence in herself and her abilities. She had come a long way from the broken-hearted woman who had left everything behind in search of a fresh start. As she looked around her, surrounded by the lush greenery of her garden and the bustling activity of her store, Emily knew that she had finally found her place in the world. And as she tended to her plants and nurtured her business, she couldn't help but feel a profound sense of gratitude for the journey that had brought her here. Though the road ahead was sure to be filled with its own challenges and obstacles, Emily faced the future with unwavering optimism and determination. With her grandfather's wisdom to guide her and her love of plants to sustain her, she knew that she was ready for whatever life had in store. And as she looked ahead to the next chapter of her story, she couldn't help but smile, knowing that the best was yet to come. As the seasons changed and time marched on, Emily found herself fully immersed in the life she had built for herself in the countryside. With each passing day, she grew more deeply connected to the rhythms of nature and the simple joys of everyday living. Her days were filled with the soothing routine of tending to her garden, sharing her love of plants with customers who visited her store, and enjoying the companionship of her beloved grandfather. Together, they laughed, they learned, and they cherished the moments they shared, creating new memories that eclipsed the shadows of the past. In the warmth of her grandfather's wisdom and the beauty of the natural world, Emily found solace and contentment. The dark memories of her past seemed like distant echoes, fading into the background as she embraced the light and love that surrounded her. With each bloom that unfurled in her garden and each smile that graced her customers' faces, Emily knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. She had found her peace, her purpose, and her place in the world. And as she looked back on the journey that had brought her to this moment, full of twists and turns, challenges and triumphs, Emily couldn't help but feel grateful for every step of the way. For it was those very experiences that had led her to this place of joy and fulfillment, where she lived each day with an open heart and a deep appreciation for the beauty of life. In the end, Emily's story was not defined by the darkness of her past, but by the light she found in following her passions, nurturing her relationships and living each day with intention and gratitude. And as she walked hand in hand with her grandfather, surrounded by the beauty of her garden and the love of those she held dear, Emily knew that she was truly living a happy life, one that was entirely her own.